and gentlemen, and welcome back to Alpha Day Trading. If this is your first time inside the Alpha Day Trading community, please take a moment to actually leave us a message inside the chat. Myself, other mentors, leaders, and other members inside the community would actually like to take a second to welcome you to the team. Yes, this is a pre-recorded video, so no, I do not wear the same polo every single day. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You'll never know. And again, I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to the team if you are new. And if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to let us know. That's what we're here for. Now, if you guys ever notice any issues whatsoever with the community, simply refresh your browser and that will fix almost every issue. If you notice any issues with the stream quality, scroll down to the lower right-hand side of the stream, click the settings icon and actually set it from auto to 720 or to 1080p, and that will permanently set your quality so you'll never have any issues with the live stream. Now, if you still have any issues and you've refreshed your browser and you've already changed the quality, scroll down to the bottom of the chat room page, click one-on-one support, and actually send us a ticket, and we will be able to reach out to you immediately to get everything fixed. It is our main priority to make sure you guys always have the best experience while you guys are inside of chat. So once again, my name is Josh Howerton. Welcome back to Alpha Day Trading, and if you're brand new, welcome. Day one, baby. Welcome to the Alpha Day Trading community. We're so happy to have you a part of the team. We cannot wait to work with you. And if you ever need anything whatsoever, never hesitate to reach out. We are always here to help. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. Good morning, traders. What is going on? And welcome back to the market. Welcome back to Alpha Day Trading team. Happy Money Monday. I'm excited to be here. I'm sure you guys are excited to be here as well to kick off a brand new day and a brand new week of trading team. I am so fired up. I'm so excited to rock and roll to make some amazing profits with you today. I'm going to start with one thing that I just talked to the team about if you guys are over on YouTube. One thing that I've been doing over the past couple of months is trying to scale in the size, and I've actually been scaling into my size on my long-term investment account. One thing that I've done consistently over the last 3 times of trying to do this is I'm going from 1,000 to 2,000 shares to 10,000 shares on an account that I should not be day trading on. I want to start with this. Again, if you are watching over on YouTube, all right? Not only do you guys learn from my successes, making those consistent base hit trades with what works for me 90% of the time, you also learn from my mistakes and my failures. I would rather be the one to make a mistake that you can learn from to where you can prevent yourself from making that mistake. So what's the mistake that I've been making over the past 60 days? Number one, I'm actually day trading on my long-term account. That's a no-no, all right? Number two, I'm going 5 to 10x on my size. I'm not slowly scaling in. I'm just trying to go all out because I'm confident. I'm eager to get to that $10,000 a day mark to where I can start seeing $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 per year. But the market has been giving me signals. Anytime I've logged into my long-term account, number one, that's a no-no. That's a mistake I've made, and I want you guys to be able to learn from that mistake. Have a day trading account, an account that you only day trade on. Have a swing trading account, an account that you only swing trade on, and have your long-term investment account. Why do you need to separate your accounts? Well, number one, your day trading approach, your risk management, your style is going to be completely different than the way you swing trade, and your risk management and your capital and your long-term investments and your goal behind that, right? My long-term investments, I have no plan to sell right now. I'm only buying, right? My swing trades, I scale in, I scale out. My day trades, I'm all in at once, all out at once, right? I'm scalping the market. So again, number one, I want you to take away from this is never, ever, ever intermingle your accounts for different styles, right? Have a different account for different things. Equities, day trading, options, day trading, swing trading, long-term investing. Don't trade all of these things all in one account because you're going to get yourself hurt. And number two, slowly scale into your size. All right. I had a conversation with a member last week. All right. And it's crazy that I broke this down and I was serious And I was kind of stern, like, you have to scale in slowly. And I'm not even listening to my own advice. And I go 5 to 10x on an account I should not be day trading on. And today, team, full transparency, I lost $9,000 on that account. Shh, don't tell my wife, all right? What am I gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to put that money back in there, all right? I'm gonna have to take money out of my pocket, right, and put it back in my long-term account. And now I'm gonna have to call my broker to get the extra bit of discipline that I know I need. I'm not a perfect person. I'm human. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, but how do we react and how do we learn from those mistakes? And one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself an extra bit of discipline by restricting that account of having leverage. Right now it's at a 4 to 1. So if I have $100,000 in there, I get $400,000 of buying power. I'm going to ask that they remove that 4 to 1 and make it a simple 1 to 1. So the only funds in my account or the only funds I'm allowed to trade. I'm a disciplined person, but sometimes I need that extra layer of discipline to help me become even more disciplined. And that's okay. Admitting your weaknesses, admitting your faults as a human being, as a trader, but be able to find a way to move forward. All right. So again, I wanted to share this with you today. Full transparency, nothing but honesty. Once again, logging into my long-term account, having a lot of leverage, scaling into my size aggressively, and once again, for the third time, losing a lot of money. But on that account, I was talking to our leader, Cole, this morning. On that account, over the last 60 days, I have taken money out of my pocket in the amount of almost $25,000 to put back into that long-term account. So yes, I have officially lost $25,000 on that account in 60 days, but it's okay. I'm not discouraged. I'm not upset. I'm not going to get blacked out. Again, why do I share this with you? Because you need to learn from my mistakes. So now you know what not to do. Don't go aggressive in your size. Don't intermingle your accounts. And stay smart. Stay disciplined. Look for those steady base hits, right? Again, it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. And that's something that I've gone through over the last 60 days because I'm very eager and very confident that I can do this. But I'm not yet mentally ready to take on those types of losses. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it, team. Let's not talk about my issues. Again, I wanted to share that with you simply because I want you to learn from my mistakes, all right? Because we all make mistakes, but now you can prevent yourselves from making similar mistakes based on the mistake that I made today. And I would rather be the one to take the mistake that you can learn from so you don't do it as well. All right, team? But we have a lot to talk about today in the market. There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, let's go ahead and pull up our morning stock newsletter and talk about what we have going on in the market, team. There's a lot of stuff moving on up. So right now over on the website, stock newsletter, let's go ahead and get that pulled up for you guys. Money Monday, June 21st, morning stock newsletter. Good morning, traders, and happy Money Monday. I'm excited to kick off a brand new day in a brand new week of trading. Last week was an awesome week in chat and in the market. As you guys know, I had a 2 to 3 week green streak. I ended that on Wednesday with a $2,500 loss just to bounce back and make $3,000 in profits between Thursday and Friday, taking me up a small $500 on the week. But on my day trading account, the account that I should only be on, I'm up about $7,500 on the month. So my goal is to continue the grind with these base hit trades. Slow and steady wins the race. Back to normal size. Back to being able to manage my risk appropriately. And with that being said, I'm just really excited because last week was a good week. The last 3 weeks have been good. And right now in the market, we're seeing a lot of action. We're seeing a lot of activity. So I'm very optimistic about this week in the market, team. So once again, last week was an awesome week in chat and in the market. Not only was I making profits, but we had so many profits flooding in profits chat as well from a lot of members. So again, congratulations. Enjoy those profits and keep up the good work, team. The live stream starts every single morning at 7 o'clock a.m. Live commentary begins at 9. If you guys ever have any questions, shoot me an email, josh@alphadaytrading.com. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys profit. So we got some stocks with news. What do we have? Number one, we have LKCO. And LKCO had some news on Friday. All right, so news on Friday. LKCO, they announced subsidiary eMapGo's contract win for new generation traffic control network and smart highway demonstration project. So LKCO had some news on Friday, caused the stock to have a really nice day, get some action in post-market, and causing a gap up this morning. Right now, we closed at $2.37 on Friday. Right now, we're all the way back down towards around 250. So what I'm looking at here on LKCO is for this stock to hold above that prior level of resistance on Friday. Not only was this some resistance on Friday and some support in post-market when we broke above and pulled back, but it's also some daily resistance as well. So if we go back and look at the daily chart, we can see we popped up to this level back on the 11th. We closed right around that level on Friday. If we continue to look left, we can see a little bit of resistance right there as well, right? Look at that upper shadow here on 1017. Boop, 239. And that's why we had resistance right here as well, because that was a level that traders respected in the past. And that's exactly why we were seeing resistance on Friday right around that 239 as well. And you can see that just looking back, there's been a lot of support back around that level on LKCO. So again, that's a level that's been validated not only on the daily chart, but Friday as well. So that being said, if LKCO stays above that 239 to 240, we could definitely see this get the next leg back to the upside. Now, how high can LKCO go? Right now, we're just looking at our intraday price action. So we would have some room up towards around 263. We have a pre-market high. We have a pre-market support low before we crack below. And look at that, boop, right back up to retest. So 263 is a valid level of resistance. Anything over that level, we have room to 273. Anything over 273, we have room back up. I'm going to call it 284, right? So not quite to 289 because we have a couple other lower points that we're actually holding this stock down as resistance. And I'm looking at right around that 283 to 284. So we know that if we can hold above 240, we have room to 260, 270, 280, then possibly over $3. Now, anything over $3, we can retest this spiking high from back in February. And that's all the way up towards around $3.85 on LKCO. So we have some news. LKCO is a large float play. This is a $400 million in float stock. So this is going to be a slow and steady mover. Slow and steady. All right. Again, it's a large float, and we're not yet trading above the average daily volume, right? The average daily volume on this play is 8 million. We're trading 3 million in pre-market. So that being said, this is not the stock that all eyes are on. This is not where every trader is at, right? We have a few traders here on LKCO. That's why it's important to understand why it's moving up, what our levels are, just in case it starts moving on up. But should this be one of the top 3 stocks that we focus on right at the bell? No. In my opinion, it definitely should be a back burner play. It should still be placed on your watch list, just in case we see the technicals respected and we have an opportunity that presents itself. So right now, I wouldn't say that LKCO is going to be one of our top plays to watch. What is one of our top plays that we want to be watching out of the gate? We're going to want to watch AEI. All right, so AEI International Incorporated will deliver first 20 e-homes with Tesla PV solar panels, power walls, and EV chargers in the Houston area. So AEI, low float stock. We have some good news. On average, this stock trades 2 million shares. And so far in pre-market, we are trading 14 million shares here in pre-market. This was the stock that I lost $9,000 on my long-term account. And again, with that being said, I'm not going to talk about it because the more I talk about it, the more I'm discouraged. The more I'm discouraged, that bleeds into my day trading for the day on my proper account. So with that being said, it is what it is. Bite the bullet, accept the loss, walk away, and move on. All right, so AEI, what do we have, right? So again, Let's go ahead and look at that daily chart real quick, team. We know that we have support back down at this gap area, right? Look at where the stock gapped down, right? It gapped down from around $6.30 all the way down towards around $4. So right now, we have some good support back down towards around $6.30. Not only was it the area in which we closed before the gap down, we also had a spiking high back on the 10th, right around that $6.30 as well. So I'm looking at $6.30 being our level of support. Where's resistance? Well, resistance right now is right off that $8 level, right? So again, we know where we have good support. Now, if we cannot stay above $6.30, I would expect to see this back down in the low $5 area. All right, looking at the daily chart, we have a lot of resistance around 5. We broke above and held for a few days. We lost it. A few more days of resistance before getting our gap up today. So if we cannot hold above $6.30, we definitely could see this back down towards around $5.18 to $5.20. However, if we hold above $6.30, we definitely have room back up to retest these pre-market highs of $8. Now, if we break over that level, what's another level that we see here on the daily chart? Well, the first thing that I see is this other gap that we could fill as well, right? So again, we could definitely see AEI all the way up towards around $9.74 to fill this daily gap. So again, before we see $9.74, we'll have resistance right around $9. So this stock has a lot of great potential. This stock has a lot of great momentum. I did not expect to see this stock grind like this. There were so many signs for me to be in this short position. Right into the 630 gap fill area, I started my short. Right into that 50-day moving average at 674, I tried to short again, building a 10,000 share position just to get squeezed out. And I'm looking at everything. I see decreasing volume. I see a lot of things that suggested we should see the pullback. Not only were we having a little bit of divergence here on the RSI, but every time we pulled back, it wasn't really on that healthy decreasing volume, right? And anytime we pushed to the upside, we were actually decreasing volume along the push to the upside. So I was very confident we were going to see the stock pull back, but I did not expect to see it all the way up towards around $8.27 before it started pulling back. So I was in with an average cost basis right around $7.20. Right now, I would have been broke even, but I went ahead and I cut that position. I took my loss and I walked away just because this stock just went against me a lot, and I wasn't going to sit here and continue the trade based on the technicals that I'm seeing, because again, the technicals that I saw this morning along the push up suggested that we should start to see the stock come down. In hindsight, if I would have held AEI, I would just now be right around break even. But again, I was cutting my loss around $8 to get away from the trade because I did not trust it, even though I was very convinced, very convicted that we were going to see the stock pull back. So again, that's AEI. We have room to 827 to retest these highs. Anything over that 827, we have room to 9. Then we have room all the way up towards around 974. Right now, it's trying to fight to stay above VWAP. If we lose the VWAP and we lose $7, we will most likely come back down towards around $6.30. So AEI is definitely one stock that is going to make it into the top 3. I'm definitely watching this stock as one of my top 3 out of the gate. So that's AEI. All right. Moving on. Next, we do have TRCH. All right. So TRCH provides an update on proposed business combination timing and payment date for preferred stock dividends. So TRCH was a big mover last week. This stock gapping from around $3.60, gapping up towards around $5 and squeezing all the way to $6.76. And this stock gapping up beautifully here in pre-market. Again, nice little gap up around 7, big squeeze to $10.20. And right now, just kind of flatlining, sitting sideways. And we have support right around these pre-market lows. So right now on TRCH, again, we have momentum from last week, right? We have a reason for the stock to be moving up regardless of today's news. But now we have some news today here on TRCH as well. So TRCH, we've seen it move aggressively last week. TRCH was a moneymaker last week. So with that being said, TRCH right off the bat is being added right back to our top 3 stocks to watch. We have great volume, right? We have almost 20 million shares traded, on average 16 million, so we're trading above the average daily volume. It is a large float stock, but it's not 3, 4, 500 million in float. It's 121, so it'll be a slower and steady mover, easier to manage, easier to trade, right? Not as volatile. And it's currently gapping up about 40% on news today. Right now, if we look at the intraday chart on the 5-minute, we can see that we have support back down towards around $8.35, right underneath these pre-market lows. Now, if we ever crack below $8.35, we crack below $8, our next level of support here on TRCH is all the way back down towards around $6.78. So if we start cracking these levels, and you guys are in this, you're swing trading it, lock in some profits, because look at this big window of room to the downside, right? We have room all the way back down into that high at 676. I'm looking at 678 to 680. The last thing you want to do is realize this stock has so much room to the downside, almost $1.50, and hold it all the way down to that level. Again, if you're in this, you're currently up 40% here in pre-market from Friday's close. If you're swing trading this, definitely a good idea to start locking in some profits. As long as we hold above 835, we have room back up towards around $9, right? Anything over $9 resistance, well, you do have room all the way back up towards around $9.70 to $10. Now, again, if I'm not mistaken, this was an all-time high on TRCH, was that $6.76 mark. The sky's the limit on TRCH. Once we clear $9, we have room to $9.69. Once we clear $9.69, we could definitely retest those pre-market highs of $10.20. Anything over $10.20, team, there is no resistance looking left, right? We don't have any daily chart or intraday resistance looking left. So the sky is the limit. We could see it to 11, 12, 13, 14, $15 today here on TRCH. So with that being said, TRCH, not only do we have momentum from last week, right, and the stock holding its gains, now we have news which is causing the stock to gap up, and we're holding above a very key level of support here from pre-market. So TRCH, number 2 on watch, followed by AEI, again, number 1. And then we also have MNOV. All right, so MNOV is number 6 on the leaderboard. It is a 50 million in float stock. On average, it trades 300,000 shares, and we're trading 7 million shares here in pre-market. So again, we have great news. We have great activity. We have a lower float stock. It's gapping up about 36%. Why is MNOV gapping up this morning? Well, one of my most favorite press releases, they announced positive results from their phase 2 trial. I love stocks and companies that issue these positive phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trials, right? So we have MNOV announcing positive results from phase 2 trials. It's a lower float stock trading great volume here in pre-market. So MNOV is going to be number 3 on watch, simply because we have great news, low float, amazing volume, and it is trying to hold above that $5 mark. So with that being said, where's support? Well, we want to go ahead and look at support right around those pre-market lows. Not only is it pre-market lows, but it's also $5 psychological support and resistance as well. For penny stocks, there's 3 main levels of resistance and support when it comes to penny stocks. $1, the toughest, right? When a stock's under $1, it's hard to break $1. When a stock's above $1, that acts as great support. So $1 is the first strongest level of resistance and support on penny stocks, followed by $5, followed by $10. So the fact that we're back above $5, and we haven't been above $5 since early March, right? And we can see here on the daily that we also grinded $5 support multiple times. It was also resistance multiple times as well. So as long as we stay above $5 here on MNOV, we have room all the way back up to retest those pre-market highs right around $5.90. We ever start breaking over $5.90, obviously we have $6 psychological resistance that we need to break above. Anything over 6, looking at the daily chart, our next target would be right around $6.35. Anything over $6.35, room all the way up towards around $6.77, so on, so forth, all the way up towards around $7. So MNOV, number 3 on the watch list for the day. We have good news. We have a good float stock. We have good volume. So right there, we took 50 stocks that are gapping up. Look at all these stocks gapping up. We've eliminated the noise. We found stocks that have a catalyst. There's a reason for these stocks to be moving on up. We know the float. We know how the stock should move today. Is it going to be extremely volatile? Is it going to be slow and steady? And we know that these stocks have great activity and great attention. Again, AEI, 16 million shares traded in pre-market. On average, 2 million shares. So that tells us we have a lot of volume and a lot of activity here on AEI. Then we have MNOV. Once again, 7.2 million shares traded here in pre-market. 300,000 on average. Low flow, up on good news. We know that MNOV has a lot of great potential today. And then we have TRCH. Again, good volume. Large flow, but we know how this stock should move. Slower and steadier, not as volatile, easier to manage. Up 41% on news, and it was a top gainer from last week. So not only do we have news, but we have prior week and prior day momentum behind the stock as well. So we've eliminated these hundreds of stocks, and we found the top 3 stocks with the best potential. We do have a back burner play once again, LKCO. All right, now we do have a few other stocks, but look at LDL. It's gapping up, but it has no volume over on LDL, right? It's gapping up and no volume. What does that look like to you? Probably an acquisition, probably a buyout. Oh, look at that. $1.3 billion deal at $62.10 per share. Do you think this is really going to move away from where it's currently at on LDL? Probably not. That's what the company's worth, right? From a share perspective, it's worth $62.10 per share based on this $1.3 billion buyout deal, all right? So there's not really anything to look at here on LDL, right? RAVN, again, acquisition, buyout deal. Is it really going to move away from that $58 mark? Probably not, right? And again, we have AEI number 4, we have TRCH number 5, and we have MNOV number 6, all with the best volume and the best activity here in pre-market. One stock that I notice is starting to move on up the leaderboard is EARS. All right, so EARS is a former runner. EARS drops a press release that they announce significant inhibition of tumor growth with one of their treatments. So again, we have EARS, former runner. EARS, low float stock, does not have the volume yet, right? We traded 1 million shares. On average, it trades 3.6. So right now, excuse me, I'm burpy today, guys. Right now on EARS, we just need more volume. Like LKCO, we just need more volume and more activity. So let's go ahead and add EARS on the watch list as a back burner play as well. So 2 back burners, LKCO, EARS, 3 main stocks to watch, AEI, MNOV, and TRCH. We have about 14 seconds until the bell team. Let's get fired up. Let's have an awesome day, and let's make some money. So right now, 5 seconds to go. Number 1 stock I'm watching out of the gate here is going to be AEI. And I do have TRCH off to the side, waiting to see if this one actually starts breaking on out over that $9 resistance. What is AEI? This is flagging out a pre-market. What could we possibly see? We could possibly see a little bit of a gap and go setup here on AEI as long as it holds above VWAP. The second we lose VWAP, we should see it all the way back down towards around $6.30. So right now, possible washout long, right? Nail the bottom at 630 for a nice little scalp to the upside. Or if it holds VWAP, this could flag on up and retest those 827 highs. Again, nice big move to the upside followed by a period of consolidation. This stock is flagging out of pre-market, which is the criteria for a gap and go. Good morning, Jeff. What is going on? Welcome back, my man. Happy to have you here. So my goodness, team, you guys are pulling or answering the poll, and everybody's like, you know what? I love Alpha Day Trading. I love the chat room. And the reason I created the poll is because I received some great constructive criticism over the weekend about the chat room, right? As far as the functionality, the features, in comparison to other platforms out there. And that's why I wanted to get my team's honest recommendation and honest opinion on how is your experience besides the value. Take the education off the table, take the live streaming off the table, take all of that off the table. From a chat room user experience standpoint, as far as getting logged in, using the features, popping out the chat room, popping out the live stream. If you're on a mobile device, how has that been? I want your guys' feedback today. And if I get 100% of you to give me some great feedback today to where we can make changes moving forward to ensure that you guys get the best experience possible, I'm going to be doing a giveaway today. All right? So if you guys take the time to provide me with some feedback, let's do a giveaway. All right? I'm happy. I want to give something for free away. So today's the day. Free stuff. And it's just very important to me. That's all. It's very, very important to me that my team not only gets the value that I provide and Cole provides and all of our mentors provide, but make sure the platform is good, right? That you get the alerts when you get the alerts, that you get logged in when you're supposed to get logged in, that the functionality's working, right? I want to make sure that you guys are set up for success. Yeah, Jeff, it was the same poll that was on the Facebook page. And the poll is, I'm sure you guys have used Discord before. I'm sure you guys have used Slack and Zoom, and now you're inside of our custom tailored trading chat room. Now, again, I know there's a lot of features that we have that Discord doesn't have, but there's also some features that Discord has that we don't have. And I want to make sure that, are those features important to you? Are some of those features important, right? And why are they important? And I need to know this to where I can make improvements, because I always want to grow this chat room and I want to grow, the user friendliness of the community. Again, you guys are my number one priority to make sure you get the absolute best experience and the absolute best value compared to anybody else. No, I saw yours on Facebook, Jeff. I appreciate that. What I would like for you guys to do, whenever we have free time, right? Whenever we have a free moment, 2 minutes, go to Futures Chat, all right? Just jump on over to Futures Chat. This chat room's not utilized all that much. We're going to be changing this to crypto once I find a developer, okay? Go ahead and just type up your responses in Futures. Give me some great, thorough, in-depth feedback. And based on that information, we're going to be making some changes coming on up just to make sure that you guys are happy, 100%. Because at the end of the day, as long as you get me and Cole and the team and we're rocking and rolling, having fun, and we're making money, that's all that matters. But in the same time, I want to make sure that the experience for you is the best experience possible when you're logged into chat. And it looks like some of the profile pictures are starting to work now, which is good. Right now we have TRCH breaking over those pre-market highs of 916. As long as we hold 916 in that first 9 EMA pullback, we do have room to the upside here on TRCH. Remember, leg up, pulling back on decreasing volume into the 9 EMA, and also prior resistance, which is new support. So we could see this continue off the 9 EMA for the second leg up to 969 here on TRCH team. So right now, with that being said, I'm going to give it a small little go on TRCH with very tight stops if it starts dipping below that 9 EMA and that 916. And just like that, TRCH starting to take a little bit of heat on the trade. But I like the leg up. I like the decreasing volume. Overall, it looked okay, but look at that. It did not respect that 9 EMA. Stops are under $9. So right there, I'm going to have to walk away from that trade on TRCH. Definitely worth giving it a go. Nice push out of the gate. Decreasing volume pullback into the 9 EMA into prior resistance, new support. So overall, That's a good setup. That's a good trade, right? Why did I take it? Because I analyzed the chart and I realized there was a few separate reasons to get involved. But TRCH, bloop, right on down the 9, bloop, trying to push right back on up. So TRCH, a little choppy right now. We're only 6 minutes into the market. Now we have AEI attempting a red to green move here. So we have AEI attempting a little bit of a red to green move, U-shape breakout over 750. So if this breaks 750, watch for a lot of volume to move in, and there we go. Buyers starting to push this over 750. Let's see if stocks are actually going to hold on up and break out today, right? I don't want to be the guinea pig. I was the guinea pig there on TRCH off the pullback. We can see here that it became a little choppy there. And then right now on AEI, I'm not going to be the guinea pig off this red to green move. I'm going to wait to see if AEI can actually break on out and hold its gains and not give everything back. It's done really good in pre-market, but right now we just need to wait and see how the stock reacts here today. So if I were to look at Ford simply from a technical analysis standpoint, not from a fundamental standpoint, what I see on Ford is I see Ford having room to, number one, fill the gap, right? To fill that gap. And that's also a 50% retracement. But I also see potential room on Ford back down towards around $13.50. So that being said, I would not be long on Ford until we fill the gap, until we consolidate above $13.50 if we're looking at Ford for a possible swing trade, right? Right now, the daily chart still shows some room to the downside, at least first into this 1444. We can't consolidate and hold above 1444, and we have one bounce off of it. We'll definitely see this back down at 1377 and then around 1350 there on FORD. Ticker F. Ford. Now we have LKCO getting some action to the upside here. So right now, we're only 9 minutes into the market, team. We're 9 minutes in. We got a lot of time. We got a lot of opportunity today in the market. So right now, I don't really see anything that I want to jump in on. I don't really see too much. I mean, we do have LKCO grinding to the upside, but I want to see these stocks prove themselves first. Right now, LKCO is the only one breaking out and holding its gains. LKCO room to 284. Actually, we can probably throw that up right around 288 on LKCO. Excuse me. I'm gassy and I'm hiccupy today. So AEI, I am watching AEI down for that 630 bounce. Right now, it is trying to fight to stay above that 50-day moving average, but I would like to see it down towards around 620 to 630 for a possible dip buy. Right now, TRCH really just sitting sideways here above the VWAP. So we may see the pop-off VWAP back up to 969 on TRCH. So right now, as long as TRCH is above 9, we do have room to 969. TRCH. Right now, LKCO is looking pretty good. So again, we have LKCO possibly setting on up. We have TRCH, anything over $9, room to 960. Anything over that 960, room up to 10, and then 1021 on LKCO. Or I'm sorry, TRCH. And I do want to talk about the SPY. All right. So as you guys know, I've been bearish on the SPY, bearish on the markets for quite some time. I'm even more bearish now because we actually gapped down on Friday below the 50-day moving average. Look at the last couple of times we came down to the 50. We held it. 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 What do we see now? We're below it. And now it's actually acting as resistance. Look at that big volume day on Friday. Look at all that selling volume. This had a really nasty day on Friday, right? So with that being said, I think we still have more room to the downside on the SPY. So if you guys are looking at options, you guys are looking at maybe swinging this till the end of the week. You guys can be buyers on some puts with stops with a close above that 50 SMA. If this stock closes back above the 50, you want to go ahead and get out because we'll probably see it back up over 420 this week. However, we do not close back above the 50. We have a lot of room to the downside, right? We could see this back at 405 this week. With that being said, I'm really watching the SPY. I'm really looking at adding more to my UVXY inverse ETF play. So overall, I'm still bearish on the markets. So I'm waiting for that next leg down on AEI to try to be a buyer for the dip around 620 to 630 here on AEI for the dip. It's got to be a very volatile candle like this. Floop, right? Two-legged pullback, floop, right down to that level. AEI looking to be a buyer for the dip. I want to see it strong and aggressive. Down another 30 cents or so to get a nice dip buy for a possible scalp here on this play. TRCH is moving on up. So TRCH right off 9 all the way up into that first target of 969. So not a bad little trade there. Almost a little 10% move there on TRCH. I'm still looking for the dip on AEI. I want to see another red candle, just very nasty red candle to the downside. And then look to be a buyer for the dip down towards around that 620 to 630. Probably right there in the middle. Maybe right around that 625 mark is where I want to be a buyer. So let's see if we get another nasty little sell-off here on AEI to see if I can get that nice entry for the dip. MNOV is just really struggling. We'll still keep this one on watch above 450. Cracks below 450. Probably don't have anything there. LKCO is getting a little messy right now. TRCH is chopping around these highs, but again, we're not breakout traders right now in this market because we haven't yet seen the market break out and hold its gains yet, right? What are the market conditions? Right now, we're just kind of sitting back waiting to see how the market plays out over the first probably 30 minutes. If we got some nice, good momentum, stocks breaking out, holding their gains, all right, cool. We can be breakout traders. But right now, the last thing that I want to do is be the guinea pig. I don't want to be the guinea pig right now, chase a breakout just to get destroyed. Right now, the market is 50-50, right? There's stuff moving. There's some good setups. But is there anything that I really want to be aggressive with right now? Absolutely not. So right now, I'm not really seeing too much that I want to get involved with, team. So right now, we're still only about 17 minutes into the market. Right now, if we're looking at TRCH, we have support right off those prior highs of 950, right off that 9 EMA as well. If we can actually hold the 950 and the 9, whoop, we can push the 1020 here. But right now, again, personally, me, I don't want to be the guinea pig, look for that push, and see this come right back on down towards around $9. So again, I'm still kind of being patient here, waiting just to make sure that these stocks are actually going to hold their gains and then look for a nice little entry. And we're still only 17 minutes into the market. Got plenty of time. AEI is really fighting to stay above that 664, which is our 50-day moving average. So right there is our 50-day moving average. This stock is really trying to fight to stay above. If we start cracking below 660, we should definitely see it down towards around that 625. That being said, if this gets back above the 50-day moving average, that would be my stop. I'm going to look to short this below 660 down to that 625 and then flip long for the bounce. So right now, still looking pretty bearish, right? Still looking bearish. We have yet to get a reversal confirmation, so I'm looking for this to be a continuation move down below 660 with my stops right at 678 and I'm in at 668. So that being said, my stops are about 10 cents and I'm looking for about 30 cents of profit, 35 cents of profit before I flip long on this play. Hopefully it doesn't regain that 660. If we regain and close above 660, I will walk away, break even versus taking that loss. So right now my stop is very close to my break even. I'm looking for this 9 EMA to continue to pull this stock to the downside into that 625 where I will look to flip long for the dip. So now we just need to crack below 650. We are slightly below that 50-day moving average at 664. So that's the level I really want to see the stock stay below. We want to see some more selling, moving this down below 650, all the way to that 625. There's a big buyer at 650, about 30,000 shares at 650. We need to take him out if we want to see this next leg down. There we go. Now we're starting to see it below 650. Keep coming down to that 625 for us. That's my target. That's where I'd like to cover this position. Right now, I don't want to see it back above $6.50. I want to see it stay below 650 and continue this leg down. If this closes above 650, I'm going to take my $100. Got about 20 seconds left to see how this plays out, because if this closes above 650, we may get a bounce back up. I'd rather lock in the $100 than lock in nothing. Got about 8 seconds. Let's see if it's going to close above or below 650. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. Because we'll probably see this bounce back up and regain that 50-day. So right now, that was okay. Little base hit. And there's TRCH. So a couple decent little trades above 9 to that 960. And then boom. Right now, new all-time high on TRCH. So this is our number one watch right now. TRCH is breaking on out. TRCH has proven itself that it can break and hold its gains and not give everything back. So right now, TRCH is our number one stock to focus on at this point in time, followed by AEI. We're still going to be putting AEI on the back burner, just keeping this one on watch. So on TRCH, if we get a really nice aggressive pullback to 10, I would be looking for a quick little dip buy. Whole area on TRCH is all the way at 1106. So it'd have to squeeze 1106 before it gets halted. We have AEI trying to regain the 660. So I have two plays on watch right now. AEI above 664. And then TRCH for that $10 pullback. See if we get the $10 pullback. TRCH has a lot of great momentum right now. So we may not see it all the way back down at 10. But that would be the best level for a possible dip buy. So TRCH right now, we see here we have the push, the pullback off the 9 EMA, nice grind, push. If we pull back and we grind that 9 EMA, we could definitely set up for the second push off the 9. Here was the first push, not off the 9, but it pulled back. Here's our second push, second pullback into the 9 EMA. That would be a good possible push to break over those 1088 highs. Right now, decreasing volume pullback into that 9 EMA, we could definitely see the nice push on up here on TRCH. That's what I'm looking at there. I'm also watching for AEI to regain that 664 to also get back above that 9 EMA. And if we can do that, we could easily see this back up towards around $7 and beyond on AEI. Oh, you guys need scanners. My bad. There you guys go. There's some scanners for you. Right now, I'm not in on TRCH because we're back below the 9. I want to wait for some consolidation and then to possibly see it get back above that 9 to go on a nice little move to the upside. So right now, I'm just kind of sitting back and relaxing and waiting here on TRCH. We do have support back down at 984 for the dip. There's a quick little entry for the dip. I don't know why that was a late fill. That was actually a really bad fill. The first time I've seen a bad fill like that with Lightspeed. So we're just looking for a period of consolidation, back above 10, back above the 9, right? We saw this here, it faded. back below the 9. We had a little bit of consolidation. Then we had some volume move in back above that 9 EMA. And then we had a nice little grind to the upside. So that's kind of what we're looking for here on TRCH, is a little bit of period of consolidation right above this 984. Back above 10, back above the 9, and then we could definitely see some volume move on in and push this stock back up towards around that 1088 here on TRCH. We're actually looking at like a 1085 to 1086 target. Right now, if we crack below the 984, we do have room back down towards around that 950 level. I turned off the camera so you guys can see the scanners, because I was blocking up all of the gainers and losers on the day with my beautiful face. I know you like to see my beautiful face, but again, I want you guys to have those really nice, expensive scanners. So we're getting a little bit of a base right here, right? We got the drop. We're basing right above that 980, the 984. So we may have a trade coming on up on TRCH. Still just sitting back and waiting. Right now, okay, and there's another little leg down. We do have room to 950 here on TRCH. MNOV is not doing anything. That can come off watch. EARS, same thing. That can come off watch. GERN, the only reason I want to keep this on watch is if we hold above that 200-day moving average, we could see a continuation tomorrow on GERN. So we're just kind of keeping that one on the back burner for tomorrow. And right now, still the number one play that has all the activity is TRCH. We do have AEI trying to slowly grind back to the upside, but I want to see a proper reversal set up. So we're looking for this to come back down to 660 to 664, form that higher low to actually get the next leg up there on AEI. So I'm still monitoring that one for everybody, still watching AEI, but right now, definitely don't see a signal to go ahead and get in on that. We want to see a little bit of consolidation, form that higher low, and actually solidify that reversal. And right there, boom, right back down to 664 on AEI. So right now, number one stock is TRCH. Again, we're just looking for this to level on out, consolidate, and we're waiting for the first candle with confirmation and volume back above that, that 9 EMA. Right now, we're just waiting to see if TRCH is going to close above VWAP and close above that 950. If so, I'm looking to take this for a quick little bounce play back up to the 980 mark here on TRCH. You can see she's fighting for the VWAP. She's fighting to stay above 950 here. Nice volume above the VWAP. I would be shocked to see it back below VWAP. We are closing slightly above. I'm going to start a little position here on TRCH for the pop back up towards around that 980. Just looking for a reversal off the VWAP, right? The stock pulled all the way from 1088 down to 950. We have yet to see any kind of bounce. We're right off prior resistance, prior support, VWAP as well, volume confirmation, slight 1 minute doji above the VWAP. I think this would be a good point to actually see a quick little double bottom, bloop, and actually get that leg on up. Stops underneath that low at 940. So that would have to be my stop, but I'm looking for a bigger little pop here, about 20 to 30 cents to the upside. We can see we have the volume fighting. We have buyers trying to come in off VWAP. So let's see if we get a quick little pop into like the 975. Anything below 950, I'm going to have to walk away because this one's just struggling way too much. It should have definitely gotten a nice pop right off the VWAP. So right now, I'm kind of losing a little confidence on TRCH. I would have expected to see it pop already. Right now, it's still backing down a little bit off that 960 as far as trying to fight to stay above 960. So I'm looking at like a 950 stop. If we can hold above VWAP here, great. If not, then TRCH is just a little unpredictable right now at this point in time. Yeah, very unpredictable there on TRCH. That can be a little frustrating, especially when you have criteria being met. You have that big sell-off, right, without any kind of reversal. Stock sets up with volume, puts in the doji. We have 3 separate reasons to take the trade, and then boom, just completely gets crushed. So that's unfortunate. That could be a little frustrating. And so we're kind of seeing that choppiness in the market right now. Once again, right, we have a nice grind to the upside. We wait. We're patient. We're so patient. We wait for that low risk, high reward entry just to get stopped out and chopped out of that trade. So that can be a little unfortunate and a little frustrating, but again, you can't win 100% of the time. So right now, pretty choppy day in the market. AEI with a small base hit, $100. TRCH getting stopped out there below VWAP. AEI is the only other thing I'm looking at right now for a possible reversal off that 9 EMA. So right now, if we hold above 680 on AEI, we can definitely see that next leg up. And we have room to push into that $7 resistance level there on AEI. That is the only other trade that I see that has a decent little setup right now, but the market's a little concerning to me because it looks like we have a lot of these really good setups that are just not being honored, and we're seeing a lot of false moves. We're seeing a lot of great setups, team, just really get crushed. So, I mean, we have AEI. It broke out. We said wait for the pullback to actually validate the reversal. It pushes, and look at that nice decreasing volume pullback into the previous high, into the second point of the 9 EMA. So, I mean, overall, you look at this play right here at this point in time, and you see AEI. You have one push, pull, decreasing volume into prior support and prior resistance, and the 9 EMA with decreasing volume into the previous high. 90, no, I won't say 90, 80% of the time, you see that stock, floop, one nice big candle. Again, very, very choppy, very, very messy market conditions right now on a really good setup there on AEI. And then the same thing with TRCH. You know, this stock, again, we're not buying. We're not trying to chase this play. We're trying to be a smart trader, waiting for the stock to pull back. Stock pulls back, and we see buying volume move in above the VWAP, above prior resistance and support, right at 950. Great little entry, low risk, great reward, getting crushed to the downside. So with that being said, we can see 2 trades back to back. Good setups that work more times than not. So why are they not working today? Because again, no strategy, guys, is 100%, right? No strategy has a win rate of 100%, right? 70 to 80% is great, but there's going to be days that strategy and that approach isn't working, but that doesn't mean we need to get frustrated and veer away from our plan. We just have to readjust. Small size, right? Wait for the chop. Play into the chop, right? Wait for a great setup to fail, then look for a different setup that's not as A+, but that's kind of the setups that we're seeing, right? We're seeing A+ setups fail, but we're seeing kind of half-ass setups play themselves out. And that can be frustrating. And sometimes you have to be like, okay, so I'm going to look for my A+ setup, wait for it to fail, because that's what we're seeing, and then play into the chop, because that's what's working today, is playing into chop. And it's a little unfortunate because, you know, we had some really good setups there on AEI, on TRCH, but overall, market conditions are just a little messy today. And so I don't really trust the market. And again, you can't expect the market to be full of rainbows and unicorns every single day. Every now and then the market's going to just completely suck. And today is kind of one of those days, right? It's only 10:09. We still have a lot of time for this market to kind of shape back up for us. But right now, today is almost one of those days it's kind of best to really just sit on the sidelines and observe. If you're a newer trader, definitely sitting on the sidelines and just observing is not a bad idea. Because with that being said, I'm in scalp mindset, right? My mindset shifted from A+ setups, nice moves, can hold it for a couple minutes, to I'm looking to scalp in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's tough for newer traders. So as a newer trader, again, your best bet may be to kind of just sit back for now, sit on those hands, observe, and wait to see if these market conditions shift a little bit. It's where we have some good opportunity with some better setups. So right now, team, we're just, again, sitting back. AEI, one of our top stocks that we wanted to watch right now, just really messy and really choppy. LKCO seems to be the one play that's getting some action to the upside. And right now, we can honestly just throw a simple uptrend on the play and just play this very simple uptrend to the upside. The second the uptrend cracks, the second sellers and shorts move on in, we start to see it come on down. But as long as it respects this uptrend, we just have a very simple, easy play here on LKCO. LKCO is a larger float play, so it's going to be a slower and steadier mover. So it may be easier, again, to get in this trade and manage it, as it's not moving all that much. And we do have this very steep uptrend on LKCO. We are running right into that level of resistance from here in pre-market. Now, if we ever break over that 290, we do have room to 3, and right now support is right around 278. 278 to 279 support. Also the uptrend, prior breakout level, prior highs. Let's see if LKCO is actually going to be the play to hold on up and to hold its gains. And the SPYs fighting to regain that 50-day moving average. So again, we just got to sit back and wait to see how we look to close towards the end of the day. If this stock comes all the way back down, last 10 minutes of the day, and we're below 417.50, we're back below that 50-day, we could see the next leg down on the SPY. So that's what I'm looking at here, is if we can give back $1 of gains and we can close below that level, and we'll know how we're going to close probably the last couple minutes of the day, we could look to take advantage of that possible next leg down. One thing we could probably do on AEI is just run a big downtrend on this play, right? Just run a big old downtrend on the play and kind of observe that, keep that on watch. Let's go ahead and throw a Fibonacci retracement off this move as well. Just trying to analyze this play to see where we can get involved. And we are coming down into that 61.8 fib. Also, prior resistance and support on the daily chart and here intraday. So overall, we do have a level that we're coming down into that we could see a reversal off of. So again, we're just going to sit back and wait for that reversal to set on up to see if we can possibly get involved here with AEI. So again, we have a little bit more time for this to level on out. And LKCO seems to be the play of the day. So right now, LKCO going on a really nice rip to the upside. Right there, high a day, $3, LKCO. We could see the pullback in the next leg off 289. So here's that quick little pullback into the 279 before that rip. Right now, LKCO fighting for 3, but again, you know, looking at AEI, not holding on up. Looking at TRCH, not holding on up. It gets me a little concerned about, you know, a pullback entry on LKCO and it not to hold on up. So it's got me a little hesitant with really trading in this market. I'm down on my account today, $700, which stinks. You know, it's unfortunate. You can't expect every day to be a green day. I wish there was better action and better movement in the market here today. All right, so give me like 3 minutes, team. I'm going to jump out of the office. I'm going to refill my water bottle, and I'll be right back with you. Be smart, be safe, sit on your hands. Again, we still have some time until 11:30. We may see something set up a little bit better than what we're seeing right now in the market. So be smart, be safe. And again, today's a great day to kind of just sit back on those hands and observe. right now. So team, let's go ahead and scan back through kind of what we have going on. AEI, anything with AEI? Nope. LKCO, anything with LKCO? Nope. And then right now a TRCH, really nothing going on in the market, team. So is there any ticker that I'm missing that you guys are currently looking at that we should be paying attention to? So anybody on YouTube, anybody inside of chat, please let me know before we drop the stream on YouTube. And again, I'll see you back here over on YouTube. I can't even talk today. Bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. But before we jump off the stream, is there any ticker that you would like me to review? Yeah, IVR is getting a little bit of a bounce off that 13-day moving average on the daily chart. But again, a lot of light volume, just getting a little technical bounce. So, I mean, we'll keep IVR on watch. But, you know, all it's doing is it's just bouncing off that 13 SMA. So, let's see if it can hold off these lows today and maybe get a reversal. Maybe we got something in play. Right now, intraday just doesn't really have a lot of volume. Today, it's only trading 5 million shares. But on average, we can see it trades normally like 15, 30, right? And today, we're only trading 5. But on average, we can see if we drag that cursor down, right around like 20 million shares is the average. And right now, we're still trading pretty light volume today here on IVR. But we'll definitely just kind of keep that on watch.